You may work there and you may like it there. It's not the signature of your city. Part of this is history. Part of this is what is the center mean? The center helps define who. Everyone has a stake in what is the quality, the economic, social, even spiritual quality of the center. Chattanooga was the center of nothing at one point. And it is now helping to define a region around it so that people who do not live in Chattanooga or even close to Chattanooga, and certainly don't live in the urban neighborhoods that we have helped revitalize, understand that their welfare is in part determined by what happens there. And they have a sense of identity with that, so they begin to say, this is true. They used to say, I live in Courtois, I live in Eastridge, I live in Red Bank. They never said I live in Chattanooga. Chattanooga was the dirtiest city in America. Chattanooga was a dead and dying and nearly dead place. It had a large African-American population in what otherwise is a almost totally white region. Appalachia is as white as North Dakota. It is totally unlike the rest of the South. Yet Chattanooga has 40% African-American population because it was a place where the Yankee industrialists were willing to offer jobs to people who were leaving the agricultural economy. We were the Cleveland before Cleveland became Cleveland. The Great Migration north had its first stop in Chattanooga. So it was an odd fit within its region. That has now become a positive thing. We're a city that is seeking to support innovation and entrepreneurship and creativity. We invite artists to our community. We provide housing incentives for them to come to our city. We offer business development courses for those people so they can make a living in their art and not starve. That's a very low-cost cultural entry point where you can get some attention for that. Our symphony will never, ever make the cover of a symphony or a magazine because we have a good little symphony, like 850 others. And we will never be able to distinguish ourselves in that market. But as a city that is hospitable to artists, that actively seeks and supports artists, there aren't a lot of places that are doing that. We use the fact we have a low cost of living as a reason to come to Chattanooga. I get out of San Francisco, you've got a great place where you're here. You can have a studio as well as a house that will help you buy. Doesn't cost a lot of money. We've now been featured in 7 national magazines because of something we've done just in the last 2 years. That's redefined our sense of who we are. Not because everybody wants to be artists or particularly appreciates artists, but because they see them as part of an innovative culture, of a place that believes in creativity and supports an active reinvention of it. I think that possibility is there for every town that has lost what it once was. Yes, you want to hold on to as much of what you've got. We hold on to as much of our manufacturing as we possibly can to let it go slowly. But we know that the future is going to be built around more entrepreneurial ventures. And we're doing everything we can to try to make our culture hospitable to that. Now, let's have a conversation. What didn't make sense?
Did your success at establishing a sense of place result in real gains in jobs and really higher paying jobs?
The short answer is yes, but it's a little complicated. As I said, 90% of the stories that are featured in the newspaper have been about shrinkage of combustion engineers had 5,000 employees. Bay Boilers, it's got 300 employees. And they sold to a French company, which is now retooling that to make turbines. And they're going to have a pretty big base there. And most of them are going to be engineers, and they're going to make a hell of a lot more money than the people who used to work at combustion engineers. Still manufacturing, but 21st century manufacturing. The amazing thing to me is that between 1982, when our unemployment rate was the highest in the South and 3 points higher than the national average, we all remember the early 80s. There was a terrible recession, very high national unemployment rate, and ours was 3 points higher. You get to 2001, and the unemployment rate is very low. The country is really in good shape. 1999. And our unemployment rate was 2 points below the national unemployment rate. That's without a single major company opening, moving in Chattanooga. So where did those jobs come from? They kind of come under the radar screen. They come from that entrepreneurial energy that is less known or visible to the major institutions that are looking around. No, our city and county government and economic development is landing a big fish. And if you are expected to land a big fish, you have failed for the last 20 years until Volkswagen just landed. We landed Volkswagen and they're going to build $1 billion plant in Chattanooga. But we haven't seen any economic benefit from that yet. We haven't had our spirits lifted even a little higher because of that. I can assure you, Volkswagen would not have chosen Chattanooga as a place to come and do business if we had not made 20 years of investment in quality of life, because that's what they said. Yes, you've got 1,000 acres every years, and you're willing to develop it, but we can find 20 other cities that will do that. Yes, you have incentives. Everybody's got incentives. What you have is a can-do spirit. People who tell us they love this place, that they're willing to work for this place, and you've got fabulous community that's visible to us. So the economy, and by the way, our median household income, which most people thought would have kind of fallen off the cliff because all those high-wage, unionized, blue-collar jobs had faded away, it's held up. It's still a little below the national average, but it's about 93% of the national average. And we don't yet have the level of prosperity we want, but we're moving in the right direction. And we've held our own as we've hemorrhaged jobs. Our metro area is about 500,000, the county is about 350,000, the city is about 175,000. So our city is smaller than yours, but the rest of the numbers are pretty comparable.
Do you have, what type of housing do you have downtown?
Well, for a long time we had none. One of our great companies insurance company, and they engaged in their own form of urban renewal, which means they tore down all of the housing near their company headquarters and put in surface parking. 9 blocks of surface parking. This doesn't make your city look great. They're just now beginning to realize that that's not where they really want us to be. They're beginning to allow development of housing again, or those parcels. But it took a long time before you could say downtown, urban neighborhoods actually offer a positive choice for people. And we've got housing of a wide range of price points, but there are condos starting for $1 million and $1.5 million. And our average housing price is